Well, welcome everybody to our online program on addiction and recovery from the Sunshine Coast Health Center up here in Powell River, BC. And we're going to talk about relationships. At the center, we talk a lot about this idea of living a meaningful life. But really, what's that all about? Well, a huge part of it is having good relationships, positive relationships in life. So what does that look like? Well, it's important to know that research in psychology has actually determined that relationships are fundamental to human well-being now. In the old days, and actually not too long ago, a lot of people thought it was just the individual on the planet. But now we're beginning to understand that individuals need other people in order to grow and develop and, in fact, live a meaningful life. In other words, it appears that we're hardwired to be in relationships. There's this thing going around called attachment theory, and it's actually given us a lot of information. Some studies done, for example, on orphanages in Eastern Europe, where there's not a lot of caring given to the infants in these orphanages, and they're growing up very, very troubled. And some evidence says they don't actually have enough their brain isn't developed well enough, and this is creating all sorts of problems in adulthood. What's going on? So we're getting, again, attachment theory is giving us good scientific evidence that how important relationships are for people. And in recovery, even at our center, it's kind of common to hear someone say something along the lines of, well, if my family doesn't like what I'm doing, well, the hell with them. Yeah, may not be the best tactic to use, because if relationships are important to us, as human beings, important to live a meaningful life, then developing these relationships may be fundamentally important to our recovery. And another piece of evidence we have, and a lot of this comes from this thing called evolutionary psychology, suggests that one of the reasons why human infants take so long to develop is because of relationships. If you think about, maybe a dog or some animal, a zebra, he's a good example, or she's a good example. Apparently a baby zebra that's born, mom walks around the zebra 12 times and the zebra figures out who mom is, and everything's fairly quick, right? They're on their feet quickly, they're learning how to eat quickly. But not human babies. Human babies take years to develop, and one of the arguments is that human society is so complex, human relationships are so complex, they need all of that time to understand what it's like to be an individual in relationships with others. So there's another piece of scientific evidence from psychology.